Shalom again, my beautiful friends. So I'd like to speak about, I think it's 6 steps that work with these 3 principles that we've discussed about changing. The ability to let go, the ability to process, and then the ability to open up to something new. And what we can say are these are 6 steps that we need to be aware of as the transitioning occurs. And it's very easy to miss something. And if we miss something, then it basically holds us back from growth. As we said, change is occurring. Transitioning is the internal processing that we need to support as we go through that change. And as we said as well, most people, I can witness and I can report back lovingly and respectfully, people don't resist change. People resist transition. So I would say the first point is bechira, that we have to consciously declare, I choose to be involved in this process. I consciously choose to be involved in this process. Now, I know that memories may come up. I know that feelings may come up. I realize that. However, if they do, I stop and I take a breath and I go back to my neutral position in that which I want to occur. So again, stage 1 is bechira. We need to use our bechira and we need to choose to be involved in transitioning. I would say stage 2, as we mentioned, is letting go and dealing with the loss. Letting go and recognizing that change has been placed upon me. I realize that. Now I need to let go. I need to let go and I need to deal with my loss. And these are good pieces of advice to help us with the transition, to tell the story. So it could be, I need to have ᴛʀᴏɪᴏ. It could be journaling is a brilliant way, just even recording into something. However, the reality is to allow what is inside to express itself. Writing, speaking, drawing. I know somebody, they doodle what they're feeling inside. So to tell over the story. And to be very truthful about where we are. To be very truthful about where we are. I would say that number 3, as we mentioned, is processing. So what this processing is, being in this neutral space. It's just being in the moment. It's being present. It's being present. It's showing up and it's being present. So this being present, sometimes what we need to do is just take a breath many times a day, just to stop, to feel the ground under our feet, to take a breath, to listen, and just to look around. Just to recalibrate ourselves, come back and center ourselves. And we may have to do that many, many times a day. I would suggest number 4 is giving ourselves space and not being involved in necessarily the goal of what's the new thing that's going to occur, but giving ourselves space and choosing what my next action is, and do I really want it? So as we said, number 1 is choosing. Number 1 is bechira, to really declare I choose to be in the process. Number 2 is letting go, and it's telling our stories. It's processing the emotions that are going inside. We could journal, be real with how we feel. Number 3 is processing and showing up and being present. And that, as we said, could manifest many times a day, to be involved in just recalibrating ourselves and center ourselves by taking a breath. Number 4 is not being involved in the end, in the what's new. It's being involved, like, what's my next action now? I give space for experimenting and experiencing micro projects, maybe, just to be with what's going on and just, okay, what am I going to do now? Having a Seder within the non-Seder. Having a Seder within not knowing the end goal. Just being real, being present. That's number 4. I would suggest that I just want to add here as well, with number 4, what may start to happen is, after a certain amount of time, a magic starts to happen where creativity starts to occur, because I've let go, because I've been doing the process, because I'm bringing myself to the moment, and because I'm just working on what I need to work on the now. I'm showing up, I'm turning up, and I'm being present. Sometimes good ideas come inside, insight starts to occur. To enjoy that, to be with it and to enjoy it. I would suggest as well, once you've gone through this process, then we can stop and we can start to make new choices in how to move forward. So they are the bigger picture, and that happens after a certain amount of time. I find experientially, sometimes people, I know in my life, I start to get an itching. Okay, what's next? I've let go of something. I've dealt I've dealt with the loss. I've been processing. I'm just enjoying my time now. I'm enjoying my time. I'm being with what's going on now. And then something starts to happen. I'm enjoying my creativity. I may have some these things I'm going to work on now from day to day. As we said, number 4. Then after a certain amount of time, I have this itching. Okay, what's next? What's next? I would suggest, and this would be maybe number 6, I would suggest that just as you have your own pace of how you're working on yourself and how you are relating to the situation, have in mind other people are processing differently. Whereas you may be so far ahead than somebody else, it could be you need to be compassionate and support, care, share and encourage somebody else because they're not as far as you are within the process of the transition. It could be they're further ahead and they need to support, care and share for you. So to respect the fact that people are different. So number 1, use your bechira. I declare that I'm involved in the world and in the work of developing myself, in the world of transitioning. Number 2, it's the art of letting go, which involves telling our story, journaling, sharing, being real with where we are. Number 3, be in the process, be present, show up. Number 4, as we said, maybe have micro goals. What's my next action? And give space to experiment and experience and to enjoy the process of what's going on. Number 5 is eventually what starts to happen. You can come to a healthy place and point in time where you can say, okay, I want to work on what's next. I want to move now into that new door. And number 6 would be give space for others. Give space to others. Realize everybody functions differently. Everybody's relating to everything differently. And it's to be real with the processing. So hopefully, Be'ezras Hashem, there's some ideas to deal with the nature of transitioning and recognizing the internal space of what's going on, to recognize that we have a mitzvah, which is, a change. We're meeting something, a mitzvah, but then the kavanah behind it, the emotions. And to realize change occurs in our life, but the processing, we have to give room for that to exist, to be healthy. And just to share, as we said, Moshe Rabbeinu, they went through major change. And the transitioning was that they ended and they left Mitzrayim. They were in a state of process for 40 years. And then they walked into that new door. May the doors be open for us wide. May there be much light, shefa, bracha, mazel and hatzlacha, all good, wondrous and wonderful things. Lots of love, bracha and hatzlacha again.